Hi everyone, we are so excited to have Vivek Sapre with us today. Vivek is the Group CHRO at Veranda Learning, a leading education and edtech company. With over 18 years of leadership experience, including 8 years as CHRO and HR head, he has been instrumental in shaping people's strategy, driving transformation, and creating business impact at scale. He is also known for leading major change initiatives, building strong practices, and using technology to make organizations work smarter. Before Veranda Learning, Vivek held leadership roles at NeoGrowth, ENY, and L&T Finance. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining us today. So, hi Vivek, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here at the People's Board. Let's start with your career journey. Uh, you know, I'll be starting with my first question. You started out in software. What made you move to HR, and how has that shift shaped you as a leader?
Sure. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be on this podcast with you, Tripti. I did start my journey from software. It has been a long journey since then before coming to HR. Like first, I of course wanted to be out of coding and into managerial side. And then probably I was destined to get into HR because after getting into product, strategy, marketing, consulting and multiple profiles, I have come here. And a couple of things which probably helped with the journey was I always was getting into roles where I had to manage people more than the functional side of stuff.
Okay.
And then thereby probably the lack of managing people started coming. And one point of time, one person reached out to me saying that they need someone in HR who is not from HR background, but is probably from business acumen, product, strategy, those background. You just have a look at HR afresh. And that is how it all gotten started, and almost 8.5 years since then, no turning back since then. So enjoying this thoroughly.
That's great. So, what other qualities are most important for a CHRO to succeed?
One of the representatives on the table who bring people perspective. Most of the stakeholders on the table would be talking about business and numbers, but CHR has to be one who will bring people perspective, sense of people, productivity, hazards, issues, well-being, and whatnot. At the same time, you need to have business sense and business acumen as well. And it will not be just one lens of people which will develop. So a bit of balance, but someone who, of course, is voicing over people perspective in that forum. That is one very important thing I would say. Then someone has to be in the organization approachable for employees from that human side. So like the number-centric people would be around, maybe in leadership, maybe in top management, but who is the one who my employee can come and share emotions? This is where CHR and entire HR team for that matters would be useful, comes to play. One more or a couple of more things would be courage. Because you need to be able to voice about difficult topics and difficult aspects. At times to management, at times to employees, not just one way, both ways. Organization perspective need to be told to employee at times that why this difficult decision is being taken, and vice versa. Needs to be told to management that why employee needs to be given this kind of revenue opportunity and blah blah. And similarly, one is courage, and other facet of courage is conflict management.
Okay.
And you cannot give conflict management for CEO to intervene every time. Except only CHRO is the one where you can hear conflicts. And of course, down the line, employee who are having conflicts. You cannot wait for conflicts to get resolved on their own. By then, a lot of damage will be done. It may never get resolved per se. And conflict leads to lack of communication amongst employees. Say two departments heads are having conflict. When the department hierarchies will start having lack of communication amongst themselves, and then you cannot have an organization where two critical units, departments, people are not talking, communicating very selectively, only on mails and so on and so forth. Someone has to, and it need not be CEO all the time. It can be CHR and the HR leadership which can come to play. So these 3-4 I would say are very important. Then very usual. things we can do.
So, what do you think? How people take that intervention, like when the CHRO is entering that conflict, and you're trying to resolve it without getting the stakeholders involved. What is the reaction of the people?
See, basically, you need to understand what is the root cause of conflict, where it is coming from. Is it that one is over demanding of other? Is it that we are asking something which is impractical? Then one probably needs to be given counseling, and that counseling is another very important aspect of CHRO. We are being unrealistic here. Right? You probably need to clean that up. And likewise, the other segment or the other impacted party, they also probably need to be, it can be a matter of a bit more balancing approach. One probably needs to pull the socks, other probably needs to tone down the expectations a bit. But that balancing perspective someone has to, and it can only be third person. If it is left on the pool, that conflict will not resolve. It will get simmering under the surface, but it will stay. It's just someone has to first understand from both perspective, then see what can be the middle path. There are various approaches to conflict resolution, and the actually session itself on that. But that is where managing people is part of CHRO given. What CEOs should be getting involved at one stage probably. But then if CHRO can resolve the things, first notice the things that there is something similar, right? I think that is going to be very important, and that's where I will get involved many times.
That's great. So Vivek, I would like to talk about future skills. I see that your interest is there. I see that you have written a lot about the importance of future skills. For graduates in India today, which skills are must have to start their careers?
Skills, if I have to put them into two categories. One is functional side of it, another is soft and people side of it. If I'm talking from graduate perspective, it's a 35-40 year career, maybe longer they are looking at. So in today's fast changing world, where almost every half generation landscape is evolving and changing very fast, I would want them to think, are they flexible? Are they high on resilience? Are they without intent of lifelong learning? Then to be too fixated on one or two functional skills. Many functional skills, probably in 35-40 years, they will have to have 3, 4, 5 set of functional skills or areas to expertise, to get expert at. It is not going to be maybe one generation before it was like you enter into one functional dominant skill and that is good enough for your 50-year journey. Here things will change so fast. To start with, of course, it has to be AI. They need to be good at AI. If it is technical side, then machine learning, cyber security, these are the things. If you are more creative, then probably augmented reality, virtual reality, AR, VR, and those things are going to be important. But on the functional side, these are. On the softer side, it is always going to be, are you flexible? Are you able to learn fast? It is going to be gig economic topic. Right? So gig economic will be like today's generation where we are very used to a 40-year similar working professional life. Full-time employment, very sorted out job and works. It is going to be more like you are doing one project 6 months, then probably you are taking 2 months break, then you are into another project, maybe aligned, maybe unrelated, 4 months, then again you are taking a break. And in fact, a couple of weeks back, I was into a graduate institute for HR Connect, HR Summit sort of. And again, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that in fact graduates of today are very keen to be like that. They want to be gig economy, unlike the working professional employees we have seen in our generations and maybe upcoming generation, the Gen Alpha and even the today's Gen Z, not maybe 5 years ago's Gen Z. Those who are actually in 12, 10 graduation today are more comfortable into thinking of around 8-9 months of work in a year, and then 3 months I don't want to be doing much. I'm probably going to take rest, travel, see the world, look around, but not necessarily working. Right? So that concept itself was a very new thing to me, and the sample size which I had, and out of them, the number of people who were looking to be like that in their career or job aspiration was very high, very, very high. So I do see gig economy not to be only limited to Western economies, it will happen in India. So only you being flexible, only you being open for lifelong learning, and you being over a period of time become good at people skill are going to be important. Functional requirement and functional skills, AI will ensure it changes so fast that what you master today will be relevant in 7-8 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? This change is a good change, or it'll be something else, in the future?
See, changes are always good. There was an era of typewriter, then computer screen. There was an era of reel-based cameras. They are not there anymore. There was an era of pagers. Now we don't even know what is pager. Well, probably Gen Z and we are following what is pager, right? So, yeah, and have they been replaced by better options? Yes, right. So same happens for workplace also. It will evolve into better, improved versions, and then it will be so drastically changed in 10 to 15 years that one may say that, okay, it was never how it was meant to be, right? So 2000 to 2020, the workplace has changed a lot. 1980 to 2020, if you compare 50 years, it is completely changed. There were no computers in 1980-85. There cannot be work if there is no computer. We cannot even log anything, right? So just in 35 years, 40 years, it has transformed so much. The rate is only going to be faster. It is going to be 10 to 15 years of workplace of today will be very different in 10 to 15 years for what it will be like, right? So this change is going to be so dynamic and fast and more fast that we won't be able to say predict or prepare for it fully. But yeah, as long as we are open, flexible, it is only going to get better and better. Less and less manual and rudimentary works will come human way in freelance, and more creative, thinking, strategic, and people-oriented work, where you are dealing with people, their emotions, their requirements, mental side, emotional side. That will probably start taking the front seat for any role, any job.
That's great. I feel that that human touch that people will never change. That will always remain the same, right? So what if someone doesn't have a tech background? How can they build future ready skills?
Tech background is more like functional skill. Then if you are flexible and open to learn, today's AI tool is probably Gen 1 AI. Within 5-6 years, we'll be seeing Gen 5 AI tools. Right? So you'll have to keep on learning and learning. Be it technical side, be it functional side, you'll have to keep on learning. 10 years ago, there was nothing like GST. Today's CA cannot even think of an industry or a sector where GST is not applicable, not impacting. Right? So it is going to be very constant pace at which you keep on, you will have to keep on learning. So technical skill or functional skill, you'll have to keep on. 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, that cycle will be there. Okay, now there is no C++, now it is Java. Now there is no Java, there is Python. Now there is no Python, only Arunova, right? Right? So you cannot bank on functional skills anymore. You have to keep on looking for what is next, what is upcoming. We are in the first mover or early movers to that so that you can get maximum benefit out of it. And once it is on the fading side, you catch to the next. So openness to learn fast, and flexibility. More is going to be that. I mean, every answer of mine which is coming to that ultimately.
No, that's the end of it. So if you had to name 3 key skills every future worker should have, what would they be? I mean, one I heard that is AI, but what rest to if you have to define or say some skills.
To say functional skills wise, it is going to be AI what you mentioned, right? Functional skill. If you are unable to use AI, it's like in 2000 you were unable to use candidates, right? So you'll miss a lot. You won't sustain in the workforce. But apart from that, on technical side, if one has to look at probably machine learning, cyber security, AR, VR, they are going to be very important skills to me. If you know them, wonderful. On soft skill or people side, I mean, if you can manage people emotions, the human touch of it, right? You'll be a good mid-level leader, and you will be ultimately a good top leadership person. Another, I mean, of course, that emotional strength, resilience, flexibility, we are speaking of lifelong learning, we are speaking of, they cannot be replaced. So I would say AI, and then openness to learn. Openness to learn and be very flexible in your approach. You cannot be very hard and fast that all my 40 years of life, I want to be in this domain and keep doing it, because we don't know if that domain will exist or when that domain needs human intervention. Maybe it will exist, but will be managed by AIs and agents. Right? So we'll have to be very pragmatic about it that, okay, now this field is completely AI-fied. So now I need to move to this adjacent area probably, which is still human, needing human interface. And okay, now I'll get good at it.
What about the workplace trends and technology? How do you see the role of HR is changing in next few years?
Yeah, so largely HR was coming to play. Largely HR was coming to play in recruitment, operations, payroll processing, etc., compliance. Slowly it has gotten into strategic side of. And over period now, what is going to happen? Three aspects of dealing with manpower or people or employee are going to take the front seat, and it will have to be very, very AI integrated and AI driven.
Okay.
Productivity, if we are talking, right? Conventional way of talent acquisition to get right talent so that productivity is taken care of, and then right L&D interventions, which are like limited in personalization. It is same size fit all. You have one training which is going to be addressed to 500 employees at a group, right? That is going to be passing.
Okay.
So to enhance productivity, you will have personalized AI-enabled trainings. If Tripti is undergoing some training and she appears to be strong in ABC, and D and E is where in that training it comes out either through MCQ or how she is giving attention or how she is responding to some of the queries. AI will come back and say, I need to give more help material to Tripti on DN.
Okay.
Right? And then the training content for Tripti will kind of self fine tune, make it that to ensure that Tripti starts gaining concept and subject knowledge of DNA better.
Sure.
While if Vivek on the same curriculum to start with, he appeared to be decent at A and B, but weak or weaker side in C, and then D and E were again okay. Then for Vivek, that C is where personalized training AI will start routing. More detailed, more easier way of explaining what is C will start happening for Vivek, right? So the way productivity is managed, the way learning is an enabler of productivity is going to change. And second is emphasis only on productivity, work above are not going to be there. It is going to be slightly more balanced.
Okay.
Be it dashboards or be it how AI is being leveraged. Another facet which is employee well-being will also start coming. So if I'm on screen, I'm glued on this screen for 2 hours, probably I'll start getting a prompt that you need to move out of this cabin, go take a walk, maybe have a cup of tea, take water, something. And likewise, if say I am some CXO and I am in my cabin also the day, probably I'll start getting a prompt that you haven't met your team today. Go to their workstation, go to their desk, right? Go to their cubicle and interact with them. So it is going to be more and more human. It is going to be more and more employee well-being oriented, be it my own well-being or my team's well-being. Person X and Y have been glued to screen. Their screen time today has been 11 hours. So probably, unless it is going on and on for 8, 10, 12 days, and once it is 8, 10, 12 days, probably AI will start saying that these people in your team probably need a break now. Right? Today we are not even seeing things in that light. That okay, constant push on productivity is going to lead towards burnout, right? But AI will start prompting it. And many burnouts, many later on toxic environment creating factors will thereby get addressed. You are not engaging your team well. You are not giving them a break. If I'm an individual, how you are managing your stress? You don't seem to be doing it right. Can you take this? Can you do that? All those prompts will start coming. So our workplace management will improve. Our days, weeks management of us will improve, enabled by AI. So what is learning? How it will change your productivity, upskilling, reskilling, and another is well-being. How well-being will ensure that you remain productive, you don't burn out. These two will start becoming more and more prominent than usual HR of payroll, recruitment. They will stay, but it will go to next level.
So my next question actually was related to that. That which new HR technologies do you think will have the biggest impact on the future of work? And probably a little bit you've answered. And if you have to define it in a line or two, how will you define it?
So it will become more and more a combination of productivity and well-being. How the two are balanced to make it sustainable productivity, not a burnout-oriented workplace, but a sustainable productivity-oriented where culture is towards optimizing, then
Yeah.
leading ultimately to toxicity.
Okay. What are the biggest challenges HR faces in getting employees ready for the future of work?
Biggest challenge is like to get ready for future, you need to upskill and reskill.
Hmm.
You will
Your,
probably get
your
a
voice is very slow, Vivek. If you can
yeah.
just come close to the mic. Yeah.
Okay. So biggest challenge is to get someone ready for future, you need to upskill and reskill,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if the person is of the mindset, I'm very busy today and this is for future, so I can do it tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and that gets repeated each day, and that is the biggest challenge HR will face, or any, I would say, functional leader or organization leader will face. That
Mm-hmm.
in the transaction of today, we will miss out upon what we need to invest to get us future ready.
Okay.
Right, that time which you need to keep giving to reskill, upskill. Okay, AI is there, so am I learning new things on how to do my job using AI, how to be more productive and effective. So
Mm-hmm.
unless that taking out time is there, right, and that is the biggest inertia we face. People will know it is to be done, but not today.
That's true.
Right, and then to make them do it today, we have to keep on showing them what it is in it for me. Right, so it's like that very traditional story that there is an axe, you have to cut a tree, and you
Mm-hmm.
are not looking to sharpen the axe, you are happy slogging 12 hours to cut that tree, and had you sharpened the axe, it was a 30-minute job. Right,
That's
so
true.
that's a traditional story, but that holds true even in AI era. Even today, it is applicable, and that's how it is. When people are so busy, they will say, "I'm slogging already. I'm already on the tree and cutting it down. Why are you asking me to take a break and sharpen the axe? Oh, come on, I'm too busy."
That's true. So, as technology keeps changing, how we work, what new roles do you think will come up and in next few years?
It is again very interesting. When I briefly mentioned of AI and ML are of course there, cyber security is of course there. I briefly
Mm-hmm.
mentioned of augmented reality, virtual reality, right?
Okay.
So today we know that fighter pilots they get trained on simulation platforms, right? They don't
Mm-hmm.
start flying Rafale just like that. They first undergo a lot of training on simulated platforms.
That's
But
true.
today our CEOs undergoing is new interview, new joiner, new a candidate getting evaluated in simulated platforms. No, that
Mm-hmm.
AR VR will start becoming reality. If you are being chosen for interviewed for sales officer, there will
Mm-hmm.
be a simulated platform probably where you will have to show that to a virtual client how you are pitching, how you are convincing, how you are negotiating and whatnot. If you are a
Sure.
CEO, probably you will have to undergo even more stringent simulations where different scenario, a difficult colleague,
Yeah.
a board meeting, an investor presentation, a difficult business problem coming your way, and how you are reacting, behaving to those. How a regulatory change is announced, and how then you are looking at scenario, how you are planning your plan B, right? So a lot of AR, VR driven selection, interviewing at workplace would be there. And likewise, lot of AR, VR driven coaching, education, training will come to play, right?
Okay.
What is happening today is we believe that, okay, this is how you will do in real life, what we are getting trained about in a closed door classroom. Now those classrooms will start transforming to make them very real life situation like. Trainings from theoretical and academic in nature, they will start becoming more and more practical and real life like. Right? So this is AR VR. Now another area where a lot of things are going to happen is we mentioned of human touch. Right? So whatever is into self-care and well-being, be it psychology related, counseling, mentoring, coaching, across career journey and personal and professional problems. Then related area would be, because well-being and self-care would have physical side of it also. So physiotherapy, fitness trainers and whatnot. And lastly, a new age of exploration is going to kick in 20-25 years at best from now, which will be about space. We have explored continents. US discovery of America has happened. Columbus was there, right? So all those parts have happened. Now it is going to be about getting into space for minerals, for populating them, taking civilization to X, Y, Z planets over time. And it's going to kickstart sooner than what we can imagine. So if a 5-year-old kid today, their parents want and give direction to that kid, that okay, get into aerospace engineering, get into robotics, get into nuclear physics, get into skills which will make you a good talent for that space exploration and journey, either as astronaut or astrophysicist who is sitting here in India or US, right? So that is going to be the career avenue which will going to take up. So yeah, so these are the future skills.
I experience this every day, Vivek. I have a 5 years old in my house, and he just talk about the being a pilot, go to the space, So
Reality. I mean, when I was born, probably I was also looking at moon and saying, "Oh, someday humans will be there." But in 25 years' time, actually, we will be almost on the threshold of being there.
true,
Right?
very
Be
true.
it moon, be it Mars, be it some of the other asteroids. So yeah, 25 years from now, if they are getting into career formative years, preparing for that, then when they are at CEO and managerial roles, management roles, they will be actually spearheading the civilization's movement from Earth to whatnot. Right?
Okay.
So they will play pivotal role in it.
True. So, which current roles do you think will change the most, and or even fade out because of the new technologies?
Hmm. See, what AI is replacing or going to replace in stage one is more about roles or tasks which are repetitive in nature. Easy, maybe a bit complex also, but repetitive. Standardized, easy to standardize, right? So it can be like a cashier's job. It can be probably usual telecalling, telesales. It can be probably uh, uh, what you call assembly line manufacturing, the labor which is around it. It can be supply chain related, the trucks and the heavy vehicles, which probably will start getting into auto driven, autopilot, AI driven, right? So these are the first line of job, data entry and MIS kind of a basic jobs. So these are going to be the first one to get impacted. Probably the basic telesales which is happening is going to be very agent driven, AI agent driven. Only next level where negotiations and that to some level of emotion come negotiation is going to be there. And
Okay.
for comfort and confidence, a human face needs to be showcased. Right? Only then that second or third layer of sales is where humans will start coming to play. Maybe initial level of reaching out to customer or servicing customer will be completely AI driven in maybe matter of years, not for long, not even long.
So
So
it's a
these are
personal
those.
question. I'm sorry to interrupt you in between. Please go
Yeah,
on.
no worries. No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, these
So
are the
yeah,
roles which will get impacted first, and
yeah. So
ultimately many other roles will get impacted. But stage one is this.
Okay. So what I wanted to ask is, and I've been curious about it, that I read a lot and I saw some of the articles that a lot of industry is talking about reducing the manpower, where at the end of the day, when you go to the stakeholders, they complain that, like, the task is, we're still adapting AI, and it is not completely implemented. So how can we remove the humans and as at the same time, like, work on the AI? So what do you think, how it is going to impact? Like, do you really think that the jobs will be in the loss? I see that, like, some of the changes are happening at the initial levels, but still AI is far away from achieving that level, in the industries.
I believe even for the jobs we mentioned, which will ultimately in stage one get replaced by AI, uh,
Hmm.
that replacement has to be preceded by augmentation. What I mean by augmentation is AI is getting embedded into that role and is making that role more productive and efficient. So AI is kind of giving tips to that telecaller that how your call could have been better,
Okay.
rather than expecting AI to start replacing that telecaller straight away. That
Hmm.
learning of how that call, how human interaction happens, how response, reciprocation happens, is going to take some time. While augmenting that, okay, do a simulation call, do a proxy call, record through AI the call and give very personalized feedback to telecaller, right? Counselor, telecaller, whatever. That is very much even today going to be possible. So rather than straight away looking for replacement, it is important to know that how to augment the abilities, roles, requirement, capability to make it productive and effective would be the starting point, would be the right starting point. And it will also give those profiles a chance, and rightly so, to reskill and upskill into becoming something which is not easy to or not immediately going to get replaced by AI. Otherwise, on one side, AI is not ready and there is chaos, and on the other side, we are asking retrenchment to happen. Right? So it
That's
is going to be a recipe of disaster, I am sure. We need to give adequate time to upskill, reskill, and we need AI also to be given adequate time that it can actually replicate what that initial level of impacted roles are currently doing.
so there's a learning curve for everyone.
There's a learning curve. AI is that's why AI and ML, these two words usually get taken together. AI and ML. It's usually not AI as in standalone. Right?
No,
It's a
no,
reason.
that's an interesting topic, and everyone is just talking about it. So there's a lot of curiosity and questions around it, which is yet to answer.
See, it is going to be disruptive, but at the same time, there was a time when typewriters and typists were there. Then
Hmm.
computer came. It's not the era of typewriters and typists anymore. But did the typist and typewriter, did the typist go off the job? No. They
Sure.
evolved, they learned to use computer. Right? So
Yes.
likewise, there is always going to be a reskilling and upskilling opportunity. And by the time AI is learning and becoming able to replace a typewriter and typist, that typist is to get time and should get time to become what is the next like computer user, right? And that is how it will pan out. That is how it will pan out. It is not going to be so drastically disruptive that it is leading to chaos. And
Okay.
hopefully that's what managerial management and leadership and sector leadership is cognizant about.
Yeah, that's a relief, I think. That's a relief for a lot of people.
Okay.
Okay, so can you share an example of a change initiative you led to get both employees and the organization ready for the future?
So I can think of multiple. Mean the requirements were multiple over last say decade or so if I can. There was one time when I was into consulting and in strategy roles where the requirement used to move from for many organizations like which are into bank or related businesses to move
Mhm.
from vertical structure to brand structure to vertical structure, and usually these used to be transformation of infrastructure,
Okay.
transformation of IT, the software, and transformation of people. A person who is used to do say only car loan or home loan is to be made capable of being a branch manager and be able
Mhm.
to manage across products, asset side, liability side, right? So again, first two, IT or infra are more like commodity. You pay a price point, you will get sort of a service for that infrastructure change or software change, right? But people, when you are asking them to change, you will have to initiate the dialogue by saying what it is in it for them, and then how you are going to enable it, right? That is first series of change I have worked upon I can think of. Then one was necessitated by COVID. From a work from office, suddenly everything was work from home, and that lasted by sector and industry for varying periods. Some are still in work from home, right?
Yeah.
But a new joiner, how to enable exposure to company culture when you are working from home? How a team lead or a manager to manage his or her team when everyone is working from home? And how do I manage my work when there are no timelines? In office, it is 10 to 7, 9 to 6, whatever. When you are in work from home mode, people may feel free, okay, 7 a.m. in the morning or 10 a.m. in the evening. How does it matter? Person is anywhere at home and can open the laptop and start working then and there, right? So this mindset, how you can track productivity, how you can do engagement, those were the changes required in thinking as well as in execution. And that was a difficult time, I would say, to make those things possible. It needed a lot of thinking. There was nothing to reinvent. Everything had to be invented from scratch, right? And then how softwares came to play, that they can track, are you actually working or not, how effective you are, how efficient you are, how as a supervisor you can continue monitoring your team, at the same time keeping them motivated, and all those things came to play. That was second critical change management, I would say, which was largely led by HR and ND. And then third change management, I would say, is undergoing. AI wave has just started to hit us, right, in the right sense. And again, we will have to move from a non-AI based work profile and job to AI leveraged work and job. So that is where maximum effort of ours is going. I'm sure HR fraternity, many will be saying the same thing. That department-wise, role-wise, how I can do my thing better using AI. These are the trainings we are doing at our organization. If you are in marketing, how you can leverage AI in marketing. If you are in sales, you are in HR, finance, whatever, right? So that one, your effectiveness and efficiency goes up, your customer experience goes up, be it internal customer or external customer. You are ahead of the trend. You are not in a catch-up game, right? So that is the third change probably underway. And again, it has to be done in a very positive way. A change, if it is triggered by negative elements around it, that unless you do, your job is at stake, right? It will only create insecurities and chaos. It has to be done in a positive way. Once you start doing it, you are going to be more productive, you are going to be more effective, your customer is going to be more happy and excited about it. Once you start talking in that line, probably the uptake is better, and that's what we are trying to do. And we are keeping these trainings very high on, you would say, demo and actual practical use case based, rather than keeping them theoretical, mundane. So how I can do this job, that demo will be there, which is being given by actual practitioner, not a theoretical academic concept. That is how we are trying to drive the change towards AI.
That's great. And it sounds interesting also because there are a lot of live things happening behind the sheets.
Yeah.
So how do you keep employees happy and motivated while driving these many changes, you can say the fast digital transformations?
Yeah. So basically that is the thing, that you have to first portray what it is in it for them. They can start doing their things better in less time. How thereby they can go to next level of their work hierarchy, next level of their work area as well, right? Once you start showing that picture to them, that today probably you are spending 5 hours in doing something which is very rudimentary and is actually creative, not going to give you fulfillment, it's kind of a thankless thing, which AI can be doing in 5 minutes for you. And then you can start focusing on more interesting, more important, high value items on your plate. and get more such items further, right? Once that dissipation of this thought and this aspect is done, this concept is done, the journey becomes easier for employee as well as for the organization to, okay, now imbibe AI in your day job, in your team, in your department. And that is what we are trying to do. We are having podcasts like this with those who have done right and interesting executions of AI in some value chain of theirs in their department. We are kind of showcasing them as heroes. Once they become heroes in podcast and talk about that, okay, how I did it, how my team is doing it, how they are using AI. Another 10 teams across the subsidiaries and the group companies we have, they start looking at it, okay, if they could have done, maybe I can also do, we can also do. And
That's
that is driving the change faster than probably organically it would have taken. Right?
That's
So these are things.
great. So I see your experience and contribution in L&D. So if you talk about the next generation of learning and development, what are the key parts of your L&D programs that prepare people for both today and tomorrow?
Two skill area broadly. One, of course, is AI. I mean, there is no discussion today where I won't be using this word. I guess we have to completely be adapted and leveraging AI. One is that, and second very important aspect is future skill or future workplace or future readiness. When we talk of it, if today you are individual contributor, even if you are, tomorrow in future you are going to be team lead. So apart from AI skill, it is going to be supervisory skill first and ultimately leadership skill, which is going to be paramount. And thereby even within us, what we are doing is, on one side, a lot of training interventions are there for AI, making hands-on with AI. And on other, we are preparing our good performance, top performance to be good supervisor.
True.
So one is developing good supervisors who are performing individual contributor today, how they can be good supervisor of tomorrow. And second is those who are already in supervisory hierarchy, first line, second line supervisor, how they can be trained to be great, good leaders of future. So AI, supervisory development, and leadership development. These three are the core focus area when we talk about L&D. Yes, a new joiner or a new role, their functional training, those things, they are very much there. Corporate induction to function, department, they are very much there. But broad agenda, if you say, which are going to be very transformative for the organization, are going to be training on hands-on usage of AI, how you can get good supervisors, and ultimately how you are enabling good supervisors to be good leaders. These three.
That's great. So Vivek, beyond regular training, what new learning methods do you see becoming common in next few years?
So again, my answer will have to have the element of AI in it. Right. So, like we were talking of personalized training.
Yes.
He does that. Learning management system, if you go, or in a classroom, if you go, same teacher or same content is there for 50 students, 100 students, 500 students or attendees. Right? It will start getting more and more personalized. One teacher taking care of 60, 70 students at a go. It is going to be one teacher for me, one teacher for you, and you can imagine how good it is going to be for productivity, for effectiveness and whatnot. So this is going to be the biggest change, that we are all are going to get very personalized in training intervention. A lot of do it yourself trainings, because the rate of adoption and need for adoption is going to be more and faster. Today it is AI. I'm sure in 10 years there will be another something which will hit the industry and the workplace.
So which reskilling program have worked best for keeping your talent future ready?
Sorry, come again. I could not hear you clearly.
Which reskilling program have worked best for you guys, to keep your talent future ready?
So reskilling programs, first is need identification has to be very thorough and has to be very pragmatic and practical. By knowing what exactly is happening in that function, in that department, in that role, whatever, right? And then only reskilling has to be done. So what we do is we go for that content understanding and making as well as for delivery to practitioners of that area. If not currently practicing, at least in past they should have practiced. So if it is sales, we don't want a trainer to be there who has never done sales.
True.
Right? We prefer to have someone who, at least if not now, 4 years ago, was into sales profile. Studied and understood what my today's sales profile are struggling with. It is being developed. And it is being tested on small set before administering it to larger masses. That okay, is it of benefit? What is the feedback of that small set? What is the feedback of their supervising? And then further curating, fine-tuning it, and then administering it. So content development has to be practitioner driven, and as well as training has to be practitioner driven. It actually is effective and efficient at reskilling, upskilling, and changing productivity dynamics.
Okay. So as we head into 2026 now, what will be your top 3 priorities to shape work and workforce transformation?
One is, as I said, work and workforce transformation, right from being just productivity centric. AI will allow, and one has to be, if you are in managerial management profile or CHRO HR head profile, how you can marry productivity with well-being. Your dashboards, your productivity MIS, all have to be interlinked to well-being matrices as well. The combination of these two has to be collectively looked at. Attrition to avoid mental fatigue or emotional distress leading to toxicity. This is going to be the recipe at a workplace. One is that. Second is AI integration is in almost any aspect of value chain and any department, that is a given. And third is going to be how you are making your people ready to be open to be change. How you are telling them it is going to be lifelong learning for you. You cannot sit on your laurels all the while that okay, I am very good at accounting and that's it, my 40 years are sorted. Or I am very good at knowing how payroll is processed and how balance scorecard is made and how PMS is taken, annual appraisal is taken, and I am sorted for 40 years. No. Things will change and you have to be open to change. That openness creation by continuously showing them big picture and as well as giving them right information points from time to time. These three are going to be very important.
That's great because I feel the times are such one needs to evolve all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creating
So
that openness. Yeah.
yeah. So Vivek, as we are going towards the end. I see that probably this is my last question. You've worked in fintech, and now I see that you are in edtech.
Hmm.
What advice would you give HR leaders looking to move to a different industry?
Okay, and yeah, edtech to fintech or fintech to edtech, the story goes longer. I mean, started from IT, then gotten into manufacturing, then it was into data science, then financial services, then I got into consulting, then fintech and VFC, so fintech, and now education and edtech. It is not just edtech, but we are into education and edtech now. See,
Okay.
I would say three important things, and they are sector agnostic, and if you have them, be it any sector, any industry, you can do both. One is understand why this business exists. Who is your customer and what problem or what convenience you are bringing to table for them.
Okay.
Right? So what is it that you are giving them? What is your value proposition for customer? One is that. Second is how you make money or lose money. Understanding of that, where you make money and it is oblique, lose money, right?
True.
So that business sense and business acumen. And third is how you manage your team and key stakeholders around you. So how you keep your team motivated and how your peers, your supervisors, your board members, how you ensure that you are getting their support and you are getting the right coordination, cooperation, collaboration around you to allow you to thrive, your team to thrive, your organization to thrive. So these three things. Who is my customer? What I am bringing to their table? How do I make money and how I may end up losing money if I don't do it right? And how do I manage people within my team and around me? And then, be it any sector you are in, if you are good at these three, I'm sure you can do good in your career, in whatever role you get put into, in whatever department you get put into. And so that's how I have been doing probably, and that's my philosophy.
Such a great advice, and the genuine one, because a lot of people fear changing the industry. They just have a little stigma around them that, like, probably if I've worked into tech, I will not work out into non-tech, or like, other
Hmm.
industries. And I feel that, like, people who are coming in the HR field, and they're hesitant about, like, changing the area, then definitely they should take your advice.
Sure, I'm sure. And if I have to add, I mean, it is not just individual who doubt. It is the other side. Many corporates, many selectors, evaluators of candidate, they also. So my philosophy is don't look for just functional skill. I mean, okay, HR can be a functional skill, finance can be, and of course, functional skill is important. But more than that, give emphasis upon attitude, intent. These two things. Someone who is great at functional skill, but attitude wise, I won't do, I won't try, I don't want to. That is the attitude. I am sure organization is not going to benefit a lot. But someone, I will learn it. It takes probably 2, 3 months. I learn it, but I am here to give this and that and that, and attitude wise, intent wise, that person is bang on. I would go for taking that person and betting on that person. Then someone whose attitude and intent I don't see going for more, and culture fitment, right? So I would probably go for these more, and usually that's how I have been assessing. Okay, relevant experience, relevant functional skill, this and that, and if not, then I'm not going to experiment with bring new CV and new profile. So that is also one thing I have been doing, and have been reasonably good experience for me till now.
So this advice is not only for the HR professionals themselves. That is for while they're hiring the people also, they should keep in mind.
Yeah, of course, of course. Right from top. I mean, many times top is also very specific, that has to be very relevant experience. But if attitude can be given precedence over pure play functional skill, it can be order of attitude first, attitude, intent, and then function. Because we are discussing in this podcast throughout, functional skills are going to change so drastically every 5 years that you cannot bet on it forever. Right? But attitude will probably remain the same across 40-year journey for that individual. If you are a
That's
positive, assertive, ownership oriented, result oriented person, you will hopefully be remaining that, be it marketing, be it sales, be it finance, be it whatever things come your way, you will remain that and you will learn. If you are open to learn for a lifelong learning, right, then you will learn. So as long as you are taking people for the right attitude and culture fitment, I'm sure rest of things can fall in place.
That's very true, because I always say throughout, like, the years I have worked into HR, I always say that, like, you can change the skills, you can change probably the leadership, management, but you cannot change the attitude of the person. You can sit with them for 5 hours a day, or, like, every day you can have the same conversation, but
Yep.
it's the internal will that, like, one needs to change. I mean,
Yep.
as an HR people, we cannot change the people
Yes,
for sure.
yes. Ownership, accountability, risk taking, these cannot be taught. They are either there or they are not there. I mean, you can fake it for a day or two, you cannot fake it for lifelong 50 years, right? So,
That's true. Very true. So Vivek, we are at the end of the conversation. I had a very wonderful time talking to you, because I could relate to a lot of things. I've been in HR for now 16 years, and I see, like, where you are coming from, and it is really beneficial the way you have explained everything out there in a layman language. I mean, I always talk about that we can use the fancy words, but what actually help us out in our journey is the real life examples. They are can be very small,
hmm.
but they're very effective and impactful. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your experiences with us, and being here, and join us at the People's Board. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ian. Have a good time.
Thank you so much.